kink, I'm sure.
It is a kink. You can't choose your kinks, people. No judgments here. All right. Let's move on to another question. We're getting a little bit... Okay.
We're drunk at this
point. I think we're a little bit drunk, but here's a pretty innocent one. I got a last one that's like, it's a real... but okay, somebody asked us, when is an appropriate time to tell your partner I love you?
I love you?
Uh-huh.
When you feel it. That's the best response I can give you. I mean, when you feel it, you feel it. And to be honest, I've been in a predicament before where I said it, but I didn't feel like the other person was ready. And I let them know from jump, I'm telling you this because I feel it, not because I'm expecting to hear it back. Because that's important too. People think that there's always the expectation to hear it back. And maybe you just want to get it off your chest because you feel that way.
Is that your take? Hot take?
I guess. Me and my boyfriend said it fairly early, I feel. But
I say never do it. Don't show weakness. Never show vulnerability.
I would have agreed 6 months ago.
They'll use it against you.
I would have agreed 4 months ago. Yeah. A few months ago, I would have agreed with you. But now I'm like, okay, it's not so bad. Loving's not so horrible.
I think some people just they're just better at showing affection that way, whether it be, public displays of affection or saying it out loud or any stuff like that. And other people are horrible at showing affection. They need to go somewhere to other route because they're just not good at it. So they're like, hey, so I don't know. That one thing that you said that one time, I got it. That's the best they can do because they're like, I'm not sure I'm ready for that, which is okay, but it's tough.
I don't think there's anything wrong with protecting yourself, and I also think there's good in being vulnerable. I don't know. It really depends on the situation.
It does depend on the situation. Example. I feel like I've been in a situation with somebody in my past where, I think the only time they would say that to me is when I was on my way out.
Oh yeah, that's trash.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's just if you felt like this way, why didn't you say it the whole time? Why you gotta be like this after everything has been fucked up?
Why does it have to be a bargaining thing or I don't know, bribery?
Right? No, it's just something you're just holding over the head. Just
or even guilt. You can't leave me because I love you.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those commercials on TV. Those are great commercials. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You haven't seen that? You're it's a bunch of people, and they're it's they're I had to yell at you. I had to spit in your food because I love you. I had to fucking hit you in the face because I love you. I had to fucking drag you out of work because I love you.
What brand is this?
It's just first of all, it's against domestic violence. Just shout out.
Okay.
But it spoke to me because that's exactly what those abusive relationships are like, though, sometimes. They're
yeah, definitely.
Oh, they were just fooling around or whatever, but they love me. I know this shit just happens every now and then. It's they're using that phrase for evil.
Don't be made a dummy by the love.
Seriously, and also got to say, the people the domestic violence rates have gone crazy over the roof since the quarantine because everybody's locked up with somebody. And honestly, in Virginia at least, because a lot of people kind of criticizing the governor, we should stay inside 100%. Nobody should be able to leave their houses and everything. And but there are other countries that have done that, like Italy, but they had the disease really bad. But people couldn't leave their houses, which if you were in an abusive relationship in the house, you're literally it's against the law to leave the house. At least in Virginia, yeah, and at least in Virginia, you couldn't go to a restaurant, but you can move still and you can leave the house. But another thing that's got to be said is there's a ton of because they're preparing for so many patients, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these government-run facilities have been kind of vacated to make room for patients. So it started out like at like the VCU dorms and everything, stuff like that. Like we had to clear all these dorms, and
I saw stuff about that on Twitter.
yeah, and then there was like the sober homes for addicts and stuff. Those had to be cleared out.
Oh my God.
I know that for so addicts, that used to be in like a safe, sober environment have to like kind of move into their own place and start paying rent. So and including the shelters for abused women too. Like that stuff got up for debate. Like, should we use this for patients, or should we use this for victims of domestic violence? So if something's going on out there, people, call the cops, get out of there, do something, for yourself, because there's a whole bunch of people going stir crazy. You don't want to be caught in the middle of it.
Yeah, seriously. That's so sad.
Yeah, it's it sucks, but it's just it's a it's a a reality situation. But and like once again, like people didn't realize they didn't how much they didn't spend with their people that they live with, how much time they spent away from them from day to day.
I can relate. I was kind of having a similar conversation recently about my kid because I'm a single parent and I parent full time, but I work full time and she goes to school. And I kind of didn't realize how much like more parenting I feel I'm doing now.
Oh yeah, I mean there was like there's something to be said about the teachers like from every day taking all these kids along with them.
It's really like crazy to think. I don't know. I just feel it's like I do feel the toll that it's taking doing like double what I was normally, just like with her, I guess is the best way to put that. I don't know.
It's interesting. Like my in terms of that type of stuff, my friends that are musicians that are teachers and everything, they've been doing the Zoom teaching sessions now, so everything's kind of switched over. And I kind of thought like because they were afraid too, like we're not going to have any more students anymore, like this is all done. But it ended up like they're like a lot of them kept most of their students and are doing it through the computer, which has its difficulties, especially when teaching music and everything.
Yeah.
So, but they're like, yo, most of the parents are really grateful. They're like, yeah, please take my child for an hour so I can go and do whatever the hell, so they could just take the kids. So a lot of them have kept their students, thankfully. But that's only like an hour out of the day, or maybe just 30 minutes.
Yeah, my daughter, she only meets with her teacher. Technically, they have 3 classes a week that are only an hour. One's like a resource class with like the resource teachers on Monday, and then she'll meet with her teacher over Google on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But it's like all that in between. I am not a homeschooling type of person. Like I want to pull my eyelashes out. Like I just literally don't have like the.
At least you could admit it. There are too many people fucking out there too excited to be like homeschooling. I'm like, you should not be teaching your kids shit. You know what I'm talking about?
I've talked to people who are like, we have like our own lesson plan and da da da, and I'm just like, I honestly, I can't. I suck at it. I can't. I'm those memes. It's like if Johnny had 3 apples, like losing my shit.
This who killed Tupac type of shit.
Like I'm just trying to breathe through it, and
that's heavy. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, let's lighten the load. I'm gonna have another sip of whiskey.
Shout out to the moms. Like Mother's Day just passed. But, the ones who have multiples, even the ones who don't have multiples, just you have kids, that's just not easy.
No, there's I really can't imagine where, like, it just kind of just, when this all hit, just literally life changed, and like it wasn't like a slow, gradual change. It was just
right, it was abrupt and just like in your face, boom.
This is it. But, we had some warnings, but, the government decided not to tell us about it. Whatever. But
Whatever.
we're here 2 months later. But yeah, that's my friends with kids are like I mean some are kicking ass in it and some are really shaking their heads a little bit. They're just like, ugh. So, well, it is what it is.
It is. Powering through it, doing what you have to do, still loving your babies. Shout out to all the moms.
All right, you want to move on to the next question?
I want to hear it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a sip for this one just because it's I need to.
Is it a doozy?
It's a dooz. It's a real dooz. All right, I'm sipping.
Let's get Emilio's on them. Go. Go to our roots and get raunchy. Drunk.
Here we go. My girlfriend sometimes queefs during sex. I really like it, but she doesn't and is very insecure about it. Why is that?
He likes when she does it, but she's insecure about it.
He likes it, and she does not like it, and she's also insecure about it.
Relatable content.
What? Bring relatable? Like, elaborate.
Relatable on her end because it is uncomfortable. It's like
I relate to the dude because I'm like, I think that shit's kind of hot.
And you know what I found in my experience that most do find it hot for some odd reason. I don't know why.
I couldn't tell you why. I really don't. I'm like, I don't know. To me, if I can just like throw like a random fucking detail out there, I feel like it's like an indication that I'm doing my job right. It's like I'm going so hard that fucking air got caught in there, made this crazy noise. She's embarrassed. Oh my god, we're naked.
I think
I'm proud of that moment. I'm like I'm fucking hammering away.
It's more easy to be comfortable in that scenario if the man actually knows, if they're not immature about it, I guess, for sure. Because
what is it? Adults. Okay, is it? I mean, like, what's the mature reaction for a guy? Pretend it doesn't happen. High five. I don't. Giggle.
I don't. I can't even really tell you, honestly. I've had a.
Just go nice.
I don't know, but I think for women, it's too close to a fart. It's too close. It's too much of an unpleasant sound.
I mean,
for us to be like,
it's still a fart.
It doesn't sound sexy. So to us, it's like, ugh, that was gross, cringe, yuck, ugh, like. Y'all can't see the face I made, but I made a face.
Can't do it. It's I don't know. I can't get. Does it? It doesn't ruin. They didn't elaborate. I didn't go have any back and forth with this person. I'm not saying it doesn't sound like they stopped fucking in the middle of fucking. Maybe it happened one time where they're like, "Don't laugh at that. We're not fucking anymore tonight." But I don't know. Obviously, it was an issue, and it happened a couple times.
The older I get, the less I'm worried about it.
I feel like that's like, I guess that's most people, especially with women with their bodies and how the insecurities. I mean, that sounded sensitive for me to say. Am I generalizing? I'm just talking about the majority of you.
No, I think in my head, I'm just like, oh, the older you get, the more you just like don't give a fuck. But it's in an empowering way. It's not like, I'm going to wear nothing but sweatpants now. But like, it's, I don't know. You do come into more of who you are and you're just like, okay, yeah, that happened. And so what? Let's keep fucking.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's been more embarrassing moments in the fucking, in the fuck room, in the bedroom. In the I was about to say, yeah. I was thinking in my head, like, where is this room where people fuck? I'm like, I'll just go say fuck room.
One of the like an irritating thing that happens during sex, I have both sides of my nose pierced, and like one side is